This is back to 99, your lord and sometimes personal 2K savior. I got the screen pulled up to show you. I made this build at the beginning of September. I was kind of glad that I didn't put all the money on it right away. I like leveled up my shooting to get it so I could start working on my hot zones. But once the 7-4, news started circulating, I was like, ain't no way I can go out there with the 6-5 power forward and trying to contest them. But now post patch, kind of surveyed the land, and I was like, I think it's time. So you can see the build here, 97 3, obviously cap break that with the specialization. 2 points takes it straight to 99. 92 speed, 88 agility, gives you slippery off ball on Hall of Fame, which you can easily +1 or +2 to I guess it's called legend. Theoretically, in a little bit here, I'm gonna show you the cap breakers, but you could take some of your cap breakers and put it on post control, and get it to at least a 60, and that way you could use one of your permanent +1s, +2s from the specialization to have your post fade become like a reality where you could do that, if you need to. So you see the build, two-way skill stretch. You can pause that and read some of the strength and weaknesses if you want to. So here we just have the little cap breaker screen. What I would do is I would take all 4 of the cap breakers plus maybe one more that you get from your crew specialization to raise your drive and dunk up, so it'll be in the 70s, and then you could take like a sharpshooter with a +10 drive and dunk take, and then you could have an 83 drive and dunk on this build. And then if you use your crew +1, +2, you could turn your I guess it's the +1, but you could turn your posterizer. If you cap break for posterizer, you can turn that to a silver, and and take over. You have an 83 dunk with a silver posterizer. You probably not gonna miss that one. So while I was talking, you had a chance to see my matchup. I catch the ball on the break, throw the right pass. We get a bucket. Um, just like in any match, you start feeling your opponent out. You're feeling your team out. Seeing how deep everybody's bag is. You know, what I like about shooting this year is that like it's so easy, and then the other part that I like is like I don't even trip about missing shots because I know that if I get another chance, I'm gonna knock it down. So I think my shooting percentage from 3 for most of my builds is like a 65, 67. I don't care about it being high or low. In fact, if it goes down lower, even better, because I would prefer my opponent to underestimate underestimate how well I can shoot. So see what we do. He gets a fade off. I may or may not make a video on the fades, but I don't care about fades. Um, it's the game's fault actually, that we don't have a quick stop thing, because it's like we're gonna make the shot no matter what. The window is green. So whether it's a fade or whether there was a button that you could press where you could just stop on a dime, which is what a person would do in real life, they would just stop because it is the easier shot. The game doesn't have that option, so you have to fade. Now, if they put a quick stop in there and made the fades harder, I wouldn't complain. But don't say take away fades and then don't put in a quick stop feature, and then all the rest of y'all people are gonna do is dribble spam Curry and Jamal and whatever else, De'Aaron Fox, then call that skill at getting open, spamming dribble moves. No. So right now, the people that spam dribble moves can score, and the people like me that are off ball, I can score. without having a 95 dribbling or 90 speed with ball or lightning launch capped up to anything. So that would be my thing. So that's probably one thing that has me nervous about whatever they're gonna do for patch two, um, because you can't take away fades without putting in quick stops. That doesn't make sense. And all y'all do to get open is spam the same dribble moves, and I don't think that takes skill either. So um, we kicked the ball up the court. So now the score is 14-5 in our favor. The one thing I will say is that I want to give my dude credit for just staying in the match because he stayed in the whole time. He was getting killed. Um, so, I feel like I could have made that one. Um, I feel like they have already closed the window on fades a little bit, but and keep in mind, I shoot button. I don't rhythm shoot. I don't have it on. The I don't have the green meter on, and I don't have the stuff that tells you, how you timed it or whatever. I don't really have that on because I prefer the realism. And then on top of that, if everyone is out here rhythm shooting and only timing one timing, for my own peace of mind, I don't want to know. It'll just make me mad, I suppose, or worrying about something I can't change. So they gonna make their shots, and I'm gonna make my shots, and that's good enough for me. I don't want to antagonize about that dude's cooking with a tempo shot. It don't matter. I'm gonna get back on defense, and I'm gonna get open, and I'm gonna score. So I think one of the bad parts about not having a solid team is that you never know when you're gonna go onto a shitty team. I mean, and that sounds kind of simple, when I hear myself say it, but it would be nice, right, to play on a team or get a chance to go to the pro-am with the full five and have something similar to what larger content creators have or what people with friends that play PlayStation still have. I'm kind of an old man, so none of my friends play, but that we've been down that road before if you ever get this far into any of my videos. But so I don't know. Let's say like I'm an elite casual, but I think I could play anywhere. Um, but it's all speculation at this point. But I do think I'm one of the I'm one of the greats. I don't really dribble, bro. I never really sell out for 95 ball handle at any point. I don't really care about speed with ball. I primarily have mastered being off ball, and I just make my builds fast, and I get to my spots, and I go from there. And I try to clamp up. There's sometimes I'm susceptible to getting cooked. You could put me in the threes, and I might run into somebody crafty or somebody that has strength or something. I'm not. That's not lost on me, but I don't. I think I could win in any mode though, threes included. And pretty much the secret to winning in threes is you just you got to have a threes build for the theater where you're a shooting center. Because it don't if you go into there on a guard and you get stuck with the center that can't shoot, what is his opponent going to do? Just sit in the paint. And then you got, whatever the other guards are doing, you're getting pick and roll to death or whatever is happening. So it's just like, if the game is to 21, everyone on the court needs to be shooting threes. And obviously, you can't orchestrate that unless you come in as the third that's there to, shoot the pill. So, and even then, you can lose. You can get stuck with two shitty guards, but it just takes the guesswork out of it, mainly for me. So, we're nearing the end of the second quarter. We got a hefty lead. The other team is, I don't, I haven't run into a 7-4 on my 6-5 yet. I have a takeover, that gives me plus 15 to block. So I would put that on. Eventually, I'm still working on my challenger badge. It's going to be gold whenever it's finished. So I plan to take that gold and elevate it to red, so I can have legend challenger when I'm going against these people, and then plus 15 to my reach, and then my high perimeter. This is a 92, just off rip. It can go up to a 95. So we'll see how that goes when that happens. If I ever play like a person that's like 6'6" or 6'7" from this position, I can put on one of my Gatorade techniques and, you know, move fast. And if I see that there's a person more my height and they got crazy dribbling or something, I could put on a perimeter take. If me and the person are comparable heights, like if I'm 6'5" and they're 6'7" or 6'8", I can turn on my plus 15 to speed with ball, so I can get to my spots faster or fade faster. So there's a lot of different ways you can, attack the builder this year. So I think the other team's trying to, hang in there, but my team is just shooting exceptionally well this game. For, I guess this is quote unquote casual rec, where I think we're all like brown plates. Maybe one or two silvers, I'm not sure. So 2K rewarded me with a little contest there. So from this point on, it's really just a formality. I'm able to get that fade off. So we got 6 seconds left. I was kind of tired this morning, so I was trying to put two cap breakers on my driving dunk. I put them on my standing dunk. I was like, oh, made me sick. But then I thought, okay, I guess, eventually I'll get those two cap breakers back, and I can I lost my train of thought just there, but I was thinking I could just make it up later, and I guess it'll give me more dunks. But I was like really not worried about a standing dunk. And then, Clear's like, do you want to do it? I say, hell yeah. And I was like, no. Well, one of the things I hate is sometimes people take crazy shots. That wasn't a real crazy shot, but I'm like, bro, if I'm hunting for a good shot, you need to be hunting for a good shot too. Don't just take the first thing that comes into your mind, because it's like, what if I did that? What if the other guy did that? And the answer is we didn't do that because we were looking for you. So we get another 3. Right. So you see my guy Taylor Chucks still trying to do something, still trying to wiggle and giggle. Don't know what kind of build he made. His build, his archetype is 6'9", I think, but I don't know. He just couldn't get it going. Chucky was like, not Chucky. Oh, Taylor my Chucks. Call him Chucky. He was happy to get that bucket for his team. So, right now, just, the game is well in hand. It's just a formality, a time thing. So, little jump ball, wet ball. Okay, I'm AFK for a second. Pass the ball up. Okay, let me see if I. This day. Normally I make that one, but I guess maybe I don't have my hotspots inside the arc just yet. So maybe we'll let that slide. We get the easy bucket. Transition. 45 seconds left. So, mentioned this before, I do like the little cutscenes. I hope they get more and more elaborate as the console generation goes along. So they're inbounding it, kicking it up to Chucky. So, final play of the third quarter, moving into the fourth. As you can see, the speed difference between me and my opponent was quite clear. I mean, he only has a 73. Hopefully, when he gets his build past a 90, he'll be able to put a little more speed on his build. I also want to apologize to I was gonna say my PG, but I don't think I did anything to him this game. I was thinking of another game, something going on with the PG, but it's not this one. Sometimes I wonder, like, I know people don't know me from YouTube, but I play enough to where people see me, and I feel like there's some people whose names I recognize that if I see them, I'll back out. Like, oh no, not this guy. I don't want to. Okay. So 3 minutes and 34 seconds left. I know this isn't exactly riveting stuff, but I want you to see how the 6'5" is out there moving. I mean, eventually, I know I'll come across a person that's paint scorer or something like that. So, I'll have to buff up my interior takeover, so I can go from 81 to about the high 90s. So they come down, and if I boost, put some little block on there, all of that, and then eventually the red. I cannot begin to explain to you like how sleepy I get or yawny I get as soon as I start like recording. I'm like, what the hey? Ooh. So right now, my team is fucking excited, ecstatic. We're not really excited. We're not talking. I don't listen to the game chat. I mentioned earlier in the cycle that there's an incident in Florida where the two guys met up and one of them shot the other one and killed him because they were arguing over the game. And I'm like, mm-mm. So I never hear what my teammates are saying. I don't know if they're yelling at me to get into a zone or whatever, but I don't. He tried it. Like I said, at this point in the game, we're just like, can we get this game over with? Give us our dub. Give us our little $900. I'm really curious, I mean, I kind of know the answer because I'm talking to you from the future, but I was like, bro, I got to get player of the game, bro. They would be lost without me, bro. Me spacing the floor. All right. Let's see how much time. See how much time we got left on the clock. But yeah, shout out to Taylor for staying in the game. A lesser man would have quit, or maybe he quit his last game and he knew that, if he quits again, he's going to be banned. So, I don't know. I tried to go to the Proving Grounds the other night. The pick and roll was so deadly, bro. And not in my favor, in another person's. I don't know why I stammered there. In another person's favor. It's easy. All right, 13 seconds, 13.7. All right, entering into the final countdown. Yeah, I was kind of surprised I didn't get player of the game, to tell you the truth. But that'll about do it for this video. Becton out.